Welcome to The Explainer. I want to start by asking you a question and be honest. Do you ever wake up and your head just feels completely stuffed with this relentless brain fog? You know the feeling, right? That heavy, sluggish sensation where you just can't seem to focus no matter how many cups of coffee you chug? Well, if so, you are definitely not alone. And today, we're going to explore exactly why that happens. See, when we talk about brain fog, we usually think of it as this hazy, abstract concept. Like it's just a side effect of being, tired. But what the research actually shows us is that this feeling isn't abstract at all. It's a very real, literal, physical buildup of metabolic waste that is filling your head. Think about that for a second. You aren't just tired. Your brain is physically bogged down by actual cellular debris. Okay, let's dive into this. What exactly is this debris? Well, every single cell in your body has these tiny powerhouses called mitochondria. Their entire job is to convert the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe into clean, usable energy, which is called ATP. But just like a car engine, this process creates exhaust. Throughout the day, just by generating the energy you need to think, talk, and move, your brain produces toxic metabolic waste and these unstable molecules called free radicals. This gross accumulation is what we call cellular trash. To really grasp this, I want you to imagine your brain as a bustling, high-energy city. During your waking hours, this city is in full swing. It's producing massive amounts of energy. But as a direct result, it's also generating massive amounts of waste. The streets are getting dirty. Then nighttime rolls around. Sleep isn't just a time when the city blindly powers down. It's when the essential night shift cleaning crew finally comes out. During sleep, your brain runs a critical cleaning cycle to sweep up and clear out all that metabolic waste that piled up all day long. Now, what happens when you cut your sleep short or you have highly fragmented, toss and turn kind of sleep? Well, it's the biological equivalent of the city's trash collectors going on a massive strike. The metabolic waste doesn't just magically disappear, it piles up in the streets. And as this cellular trash accumulates, it literally chokes the city's power plants, your mitochondria. The very structures you absolutely rely on for energy become overwhelmed and actively damaged by their own uncollected waste. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we are talking about. Research from a 2025 study in the journal Experimental Neurology explicitly states that sleep fragmentation impairs cognitive function by disrupting mitochondrial biogenesis. In plain terms, a lack of quality sleep directly ruins your ability to think clearly because it actually reduces the number and health of your mitochondria. When the trash piles up, your brain's power grade literally starts to fail. But listen, sleep deprivation isn't the only thing causing this metabolic strain. There's actually a whole gang of villains damaging your powerhouses every single day. We've got high glycemic processed foods, basically sugar, which spike insulin and cause rampant inflammation. We have chronic stress, where elevated levels of adrenaline and cortisol basically hammer your mitochondria until they die off. We've got sedentary lifestyles, which studies show drastically reduce mitochondrial numbers in the brain. And, of course, the big one, skipping out on that vital night shift cleaning crew by not getting enough sleep. Now, what's absolutely fascinating is the sheer difference in energy efficiency depending on what you feed your body. When your mitochondria process carbohydrates, or sugar, they produce about 38 units of ATP energy. It's a really inefficient, waste-heavy burn. But look at fats, like the fats emphasized in a low-carb, high-fat diet. Processing one single unit of fat yields a whopping 146 units of ATP. It is a much cleaner, significantly more powerful energy output that puts way, way less metabolic strain on your system. If you continue to force your body to burn that inefficient fuel while simultaneously skipping the nightly cleanup cycle, you are in for a rough ride. This continuous metabolic strain creates a flood of excess free radicals. And our sources point out that these free radicals don't just make you feel a little tired, they initiate actual cell death. They damage your mitochondrial DNA, which leads to severe neurodegenerative changes in the brain and premature aging. You are quite literally rusting from the inside out. So, the big question, how do we fix this? How do we stop the strike and get the cleaning crew back to work? Well, the first major lifestyle fix is incredibly straightforward but incredibly powerful. 1900. Yep, 7 p.m. This is all about cutting off the trash supply so your body can actually focus on cleaning it out. Let's see how this builds into what we call the evening fasting fix. Rule number 1, you strictly finish your last meal by 1900. Rule number 2, you completely eliminate late night snacks. Cut them out entirely. What this does is create an extended fasting gap before your morning breakfast. And by doing this, your blood sugar gets a chance to stabilize. You dramatically lower insulin and glucose in your bloodstream. This drops insulin-induced inflammation and massively reduces the metabolic strain on your body, which finally gives your night shift cleaners the uninterrupted time they need to do their jobs. Now, optimizing your meal timing and sleep is the foundation, absolutely. But you can also support your struggling mitochondrial heroes from the inside out. And this brings us to a really fascinating supplement fix from Vilavi, pronounced Vilavi, called T8 Extra. If your cells have been taking a total beating from stress, bad diets, and lack of sleep, this is designed to step in and help rescue that biological cleaning cycle. The secret engine inside T8 Extra is something called the CYP-XP complex. It contains 90% phytogenetic polyprenols, pronounced polyprenols. Now, these polyprenols are absolutely vital because they work right down at the cellular level to restore membrane elasticity in each and every cell. They act like a shield protecting your cells from that toxic free radical damage we talked about earlier. And by doing so, they actively enhance your mitochondria's ability to generate clean, reliable energy. And honestly, the best part is how easily this integrates into a normal daily routine. Taking just 2 milliliters of this conifer restoration extract a day is enough to help rapidly restore the energy balance of your cells and support the health of your overall mitochondrial pool. It's a super small addition, but it makes a massive difference for your internal power grid. So, the crucial point to take away today is this. Brain fog is not a mystery. It is a biological backlog. By shifting your fuel to cleaner sources, cutting off late-night eating, protecting your cells with powerful polyphenols, and actually prioritizing your sleep, you finally allow your brain to clear the trash. The ultimate payoff? You wake up sharp. You wake up alert. Your internal city is clean, powered up, and totally ready to tackle the day with peak cognitive function. I want to leave you with one final thought to carry with you for the rest of the day. You actually have the power to control when that night shift crew clocks in. So, what time does your cleaning cycle start tonight? Are you going to keep piling up the trash, or are you going to stop eating by 1900 and let your mitochondria heal? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.